This is pre-algebra lesson 1-3, evaluating expressions. To evaluate means to work out a problem by replacing each variable with a number, and then going as far as possible as you possibly can to answer the question. Sometimes you'll get an answer, and sometimes you will not. Most of the time, for your intents and purposes, you'll get an answer. For example, if we're going to evaluate 18 plus 2g for g equaling 3, which means every time I see a g in my problem, I have to replace it with 3, because that's what it says, g equals 3. So in this problem, I'm going to have 18 plus 2. A number next to a variable implies multiplication, so 2 times 3. Now I follow the order of operations from the last lesson, and I will have 18 plus 6, because 2 times 3 is 6. And 18 plus 6 is 21. So you plug in the number, do the mathematics according to the order of operations, and come up with your answer. That's called evaluating. Okay, number 2, 4y minus 15 for y equaling 9, which means every time I see a y, I will put a 9 in there. 4 next to the y implies multiplication, so it's 4 times 9 minus 15. 9 times 4 is 36. 36 minus 15 is 21. If you have to do math over here to the side, that's perfectly fine. If you're one of those people that's like, oh, I can do it faster this way than I can in my head, I don't have a problem with that. Don't erase it. Leave it there so that I can see that's what you actually did. Some of you can do 36 minus 15 in your head. Some of you cannot. Doesn't mean you're any smarter or less smart if you can or cannot do it in your head. You'll eventually become proficient enough that you can do things like that in your head. Number 3, 2ab minus c over 3. We forgot a has to equal 3 here. A equals 3. So a equals 3, b equals 4, and c equals 9. So now I have to replace 3 variables. So it's going to be 2 times a, which is 3, times b, which is 4, minus c, which is 9, divided by 3. Now to follow the order of operations, I have to do multiplication and division from left to right, so I have to do all the multiplication first. Okay, so I have 2 times 3, which is 6, 6 times 4, which is 24, minus, and 9 divided by 3, I can do this, because 9 divided by 3 happens to be 3. So 24 minus 3, which happens to be 21. Number 4. 6 parentheses g plus h for g equaling 8 and h equaling 7. So I'm going to have 6 multiplied by g, which is 8, plus h, which is 7. Okay. Again, you need to show me all the steps. Please don't skip steps. Okay. I need to know what your brain is thinking. Now we have to do it in parentheses, so that's going to be 6. 8 plus 7 is 15, so 6 times 15. I happen to know that 6 times 15 is 90, but in case you don't, simply do 15 times 6 over here. 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 1 is 6, plus 8 is 9. And get your 90. You may not use a calculator. You have to do everything paper pencil until given the opportunity to use a calculator, which probably will not come until the second semester. So just be aware of that. Number 5, 2xy minus c for x equaling 4, y equaling 3, and z equaling 1. So I'm going to have 2 times x, which is 4, times y, which is 3, minus z, which is 1. So, order of operations says to multiply first. 2 times 4 is 8, times 3 is 24, minus 1, which is 23. And there I have it. Fourth box or circle your final answer. Show you to work neatly, work vertically, and of course, box or circle your final answer. Now, expressions can also be written to solve word problems, which we would consider to be everyday problems. Okay? Most people are like, I don't like word problems. Word problems are real life problems. You're never going to go into a store and they're going to say, well, use this formula to figure out how much money you're going to save. Okay. Lately in the stores, it drives me nuts. You'll go and it'll say, oh, 50% off, and they'll have this big sign above your rack, and they'll tell you if it was $14.99, you're now going to pay $7.49 or something like that. And it drives me nuts that the people are that stupid that we can't take something and divide it by 2. Okay. It's to your advantage to understand how to do math and realize how to do it out in the real world, out when you go shopping. Okay? Are you getting a good deal? Which is the better deal? You'll know how to do that if you know how to do math. That's applying it to a real world situation outside of the classroom. Here we go. Energy drinks come in cases of 24 bottles. A store pays $29 for each case of energy drinks. Write a variable expression for the costs of C cases. Evaluate and find the cost for 5 cases. Okay, so if C cases, this is my variable, C cases, I have to write a variable expression. If they pay $29, okay, for each case, that means 29 times C is going to be my variable expression. Okay, this is my variable expression. So that's the first thing this asks me to do. So write my variable expression. There I have written my variable expression. 29 times C. Remember, a number next to a variable implies multiplication. You do not need any type of symbol to tell you that it's multiplication. And then it tells me to evaluate it for a cost of 5 cases, which means now I'm going to evaluate it if C equals 5. So 29C if C equals 5. So I'm just going to do 29 times 5. Okay. I can do this in my head, though, because 3 times 5 is 15, it would be 150, but we're going to subtract 5 from that, so it should be 145. But just in case, 5 times 5 is 45. Look, it's 145, I was right. And it's dollars. It's a word problem, so we have to answer the final part of it in a complete sentence. Cost for 5 cases is $145. All word problems must be written in a complete sentence. And they have to have all the proper symbols. So, our 2 answers are what I got, 49C, which is my variable expression, and then evaluating it for C equals 5. And another one. The Omelette Cafe buys cartons of 36 eggs. Write a variable expression for the number of cartons needed for X eggs. Okay? We're talking about X eggs, not X cartons of eggs. X eggs, which means if they buy them in cartons of 36 and I need, groups of 4 eggs, how am I going to figure this out? It has to be division. So X divided by 36, and we do it algebraically, not mathematically, which means we use the fraction bar versus the division symbol for division. X over 36 is my expression for the number of X eggs. Okay. And then it says evaluate the expression for 180 eggs. So if I have 180 eggs, okay, because they buy them in 36, quantities of 36. If they need 180 eggs, how many cartons is that? So 180 divided by 36 is going to give me how many cartons that is. So if I take 180 and I divide by 36, let's see, 36 plus 3 goes to 18, 6 times, but it's 36, so I'm going to take 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Yep, there we go. So this equals 5 cartons. So 180 eggs will take 5 cartons. There's our evaluation, and here's our expression. Number 3. The one pizza restaurant makes only one kind of pizza, which costs $16. The delivery charge is $2. Write a variable expression for the cost of having pizzas delivered. Evaluate the expression to find the cost of having 2 pizzas delivered. Alright, they make only one kind of pizza, it costs $16. So maybe it's cheese pizza, maybe it's a margarita pizza, maybe it's a Hawaiian pizza, maybe it's a sausage pizza, who knows. Whatever it is, it costs $16. Delivery charge is $2, not $2 per pizza, $2 per delivery. So if they deliver you 18 pizzas, it's still only going to cost you $2 for them to deliver it because they're only coming to one place. So we're going to write a variable expression for the cost of having pizzas delivered. So the first thing I have to do is, since they didn't give me a variable this time, I have to define a variable. I have to write what my variable is and what does it stand for. So I'm going to let P equal the number of pizzas. I've got a hashtag. It's a number symbol. Okay, so that's the number of pizzas. Okay. So if it costs $16 per pizza plus a $2 delivery charge, so it's the price of the pizza plus the delivery will equal my total. Okay. The price of my pizzas is $16 times the number of pizzas I choose to buy plus my $2 delivery charge. So there's my variable expression. And then last but not least, I have to solve this variable expression, 16p plus 2, if p equals 2. So 16 times 2 plus 2. 16 times 2 is 32, plus 2 is $34. So it will cost me $34 to have pizzas delivered. And there you have variables and expressions.